Hello. Yeah. All right. So before you go out there and vote, I just wanted to say that you know I think that it is cool to vote and to participate in one's government. It is. That's dope. But in my opinion, there's a huge disconnect with what a vote actually does to what you hope that would accomplish, right? And I'm not really even voting for the person who's going to do anything. It's just like a rep. I'm voting for someone who's yeah, a rep. I'm not trying to say this to discourage people from voting, but I'm just saying this so that when you go out there to vote, remember one thing. I want you to keep this in your mind as you vote. That they're waiting for you to vote. They're waiting for you to submit your ballot. You know, just do the same thing that we've been doing for however long we've been voting for. To just submit it. Do it. They're expecting you to do that. But what if you didn't? What if you didn't vote? You see, that's what interests me is scenarios like this where it's like, all right, well, what if we just don't do what they're expecting us to do, which is just to vote? Oh, we have to vote. It has to be either for this guy or this guy. I don't care. Like I never really felt inclined to vote, but this year I'm just like, if there's one thing I learned through the Trump presidency is that you know he's just kind of like a smoke and mirrors. He's just there to pull the attention away from the people who are actually making the choices and doing all of the actual things, like the actual decisions that affect us. You know what I'm saying? He's just kind of smoke and flare. So it's like voting for a president to me, it doesn't mean anything. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels like that. And I know that by just me saying this is not gonna make anyone not vote. But I really would be interested to see what would happen one day if we just stop voting. We just stop voting because I want to see the people who are just expecting us to just do what they want to see a face of shock in them for once, a face of like, oh, they're not actually doing what we expect them to do. It doesn't feel like a democracy when you're just following a routine, like when you're just doing the same thing over and over again. It's like it feels like one because you're free to a degree and you can do things, but then it also just feels like, well, what does this ultimately lead to? What are we doing here? What is actually changing? And the 100 and like whatever amount of years that we've been voting for, what the hell has actually changed? And I'm not talking about. I'm like actual change, bro. Like actual change, not just slow paced change. And that's my problem with voting is that it takes too damn long. It just takes too long, bro. Like we can't be doing this anymore, bro. Like it's just. And the reason I say like, well, what if we just stop voting? It's like, well, what if we just took charge of our nation together instead of let other people who we don't know what they're saying in their boardrooms, who they say one thing here, but then they receive some other information, and then they have to change their minds. We're not making these choices. So you tell me that my vote matters, but it does not feel like it matters. And you may say that, well, it may not feel like it matters. No, my vote does not matter at all. Like that's a fact, bro. My vote matters this much because at the end of the day, they're gonna do whatever they want to do, and I don't have a damn say in it, bro. And that's where it's not a democracy, bro. It's not a democracy, bro. It's an oligarchy. It's the people that have a different reality from mine making decisions for people who have even way different more realities than they do. You know what I'm saying? These people are going home to very vastly different homes and situations than the people whose lives they affect on a daily basis. I'm not saying anything new here, guys. But what I'm saying to you, especially if you've been feeling it and you've wanted to be voiced and you wanted to just hear someone else say it too, put yourself in the shoes of someone that's running the government and think about how desperate they must feel to want your vote. Because I know you know that these guys will do anything for your vote. So who really has the power here, man? Do they have the power or do the people have the power? I'm pretty sure we have the power. Because they'll say or do anything for our vote, man. So why don't we just grab that vote by the balls and say, well, look, hold up. Why don't we change things first before we even think about giving anybody a vote here? Why don't we actually run this country in a way that works for everybody in this country, bro? At least to that. Because what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Those are my thoughts, man. Peace.